Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Talking Elite Fitness. I'm Sean Woodland, joined as always by Lauren Khalil. Lauren, what's up?
I'm hanging out. How are you, Sean?
Tremendous, thank you. Tommy, and joined by also featuring, guess I should say, Tommy Marquez. What's up, Tommy?
Ooh, happy Masters Week to everyone who celebrates.
That's right. I could
Oh,
have made
yeah.
that intro smoother. My apologies on that. But
Hmm.
yeah, happy Masters Week, which is we're going to talk a lot about that actually with our good friend Jason Grubb, who will be joining us a little bit later. Lauren and Tommy.
Oh, the Masters of the Masters. Tommy, were you talking about golf masters?
I was.
Oh,
I was talking about
I was
golf
thinking
Masters.
Masters Week. Yeah, it is Masters Week.
Sean had a Laurenism. Let's go.
I was still right because it was age group qualifiers. Masters.
That's the funny
You
part. I
were.
was like, you're not wrong. I was
You're
like, I
not
guess that's
wrong.
one way of looking.
I was right. Yeah. Did you watch any of today? Today was first round?
I did. It's quite good. The
Good.
the best app in sports is the Masters app
Oh, they have.
by
Yeah,
far.
by far.
They've always been one of us. I got to go to Augusta back in, was it
Mm.
2006? I think 2005 or six. I went. It was cool. I got to go to practice.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like, you can drive by it and not even know you drove by it.
I apply for tickets every year. Have not gotten it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, sad.
Yeah, they do a
Sad
thing. They
one
do a
day.
media round too, where it's like you got to get in.
Yeah.
I never got to play, but my boss got to play a couple times. The sports director got
Damn.
to go. So yeah,
That's legit.
it's pretty awesome.
The best food for media will always be the PGA. Like anything.
PGA Tour.
Yeah.
Hey,
Like
yeah,
steak, like seafood
Whoa.
fresh off the boat.
cookies
Yeah,
like this big,
wild.
like
Oh.
Mhm.
yeah, it was at the Players Championship in Ponte Vedra which was still one of my favorite sports events to cover. That was God, those cookies were so good.
It's the
Um,
fifth major.
it is the fifth major. It's a fantastic event too. I was there the year. Oh God, this is going way back. When Tiger went extra holes with Jerry Kelly.
Yep.
Mm.
That was cool. Yeah, and then that one he made that. I think Tiger also made that gigantic putt on 17 too. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that big sloop that one of my favorite content creators recreated this year that was
Mhm.
all over social media because they did a creator classic competition where all the YouTube golfers
Uh,
would get to play like
Yeah.
8 holes for a competition. And one of my favorite YouTube golfers, his name's Fat Perez, had that his shot on 17 land right where Tiger's did.
yeah,
And he hit that same putt and he drills it
nice.
and someone super cut it between the two and like
Oh,
cross
that's awesome.
dissolved like Tiger
That's
into
pretty cool.
him. It's fantastic.
I gotta
And
check
they
that.
could yeah, it was great.
That tournament is fantastic. Like, what was it? The Waste Management Open or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
The one
Yep.
in Arizona, like that's got a reputation. You get a little bit of that at the Players on 17. Like that's kind of the party atmosphere because at least when I was there, they had two like big hospitality tents up on the hills that overlooked the green. So everyone's in there getting schnockered, and then you got everybody like on the hills that they've been drinking all day. So it gets pretty rowdy at 17. It's pretty subdued everywhere else, but yeah, 17 is where you want to go if you want to
Party people at.
at the
Yep.
Players. Anyway, I digress. We are going to talk, since it is Masters Week, with a Masters athlete, Jason Grubb, who had some things to say online and to Tommy and Lauren about the online judging that's going on. So we're going to hear his thoughts about that, and then we're going to recap the Mayhem Classic, which I was at this past weekend. That took place at CrossFit Mayhem in Cookeville, Tennessee. But before we do that, we want to thank our sponsor for today, and that is Thirdzy. You guys want to go to thirdzy.com/TEF, and you will get 20% off their Rest and Recovery Collagen, and you will immediately sleep and recover better in the process. Their Rest and Recovery Collagen is a fantastic product that we have all been using for a long time, and I absolutely swear by it. I've got a lot of my friends on it, and they say it makes a difference for them. It has no melatonin in it, so it's not habit forming. It has GABA, L-theanine, magnesium, ingredients that are designed to help calm your central nervous system so you get to sleep faster, you stay asleep longer, and you wake up feeling better. Thirdzy.com/TEF. You save 20% right off the bat. And this time, and as I segue to our Mayhem coverage, I did not forget my Thirdzy. As I
Oh,
Mm.
thank God.
had travel packs there. made a huge difference. It was nice that we didn't have like super ultra early start times. So that was great. And even, so thank you to Thirdzy for being great partners. Check them out, thirdzy.com/TEF. So,
Man, now you got me jealous. I was like, the recipe for a good night's sleep in Cookeville, Tennessee. You go to the old Cracker Barrel.
We didn't go to the
sit
Cracker
down, have yourself a nice meal late night because it's open, and then you just glass of Thirdzy to wash down your chicken fried steak, and you'll sleep like a baby.
We did go to the Longhorn Steakhouse.
Ooh.
Wow.
And at Longhorn, if you've ever been to a Longhorn facility,
Uh-huh.
they have the bar in the middle, like where the face the big screen TVs, and then on like the inside they have a bunch of signage. The bar, like, so it's on the bartender side, but you can see it as you walk in. Giant mural of one Rich Froning during push pull.
What?
Yeah, it's like
no way.
That is awesome. Yeah, so he is at.
That's awesome.
You've made it in life when you got your own little mural
Longhorn.
at the Longhorn Steakhouse. Good stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a good time.
Did you take a selfie with it?
No. No, it was too
I
hard.
thought I'd ask.
Hung out with the Buttery Bros, though. That was fun. They were there. Mars and Hebrew were.
Mhm.
Mars are rocking the mustache now.
Oh, that was the mustache,
if you will, Tommy.
The El Bigote is what that mustache is how I first met him.
Really, I didn't know.
Back,
so he's a repeat offender with this thing.
Oh, back in 2011, I met him at the games for the first time. He was running around with a camera on his shoulder. He had like this, like, I think they were who was it? From Rob Dyrdek's like sunglasses, signature sunglasses, like gold reflective lens. And he had just this dirty mustache. And I was like, who is this guy? He's like, sup, I'm Mars. I was like, we're going to be friends.
That's like the first time I ever saw Julian Marquez was at a competition in Roseville, California. And he had, who is this effing guy? Dressed like
my God.
I don't know, man. But little did I know that really good dude, Julian.
Yep.
Anyway, we're going. So semifinal season is underway. First in-person qualifier, first 4 athletes going to the CrossFit Games. Austin Hatfield and Colton Mertens. Congratulations to the two of them on the men's side and on the women's side. It was Fisa and now I'm drawing a blank on the second one.
Abby Domit.
That's right. Thank you, Tommy. Probably should have known that since I was there.
You called it. Wow, that was a quick flush.
Dude, drawing a blank. But I think I had a great time. I think the event was fantastic. And I think there's a lot that if you're running an event and you're trying to stream it, I think there are a lot of things that you really should pay close attention and probably try to emulate with what Mayhem did. And I think the main thing is how and I give Rory McKernan a lot of credit for this because this was kind of his brainchild in the way that he was able to work things out with the sponsors. But the way that they gave their sponsors love during the stream, I think was fantastic. Mm-hmm. They interviewed the guy from Heart and Soil multiple times. They were in that booth talking to them. That's what sponsors need. It's nice for them if you have a stream to get a logo on the stream or something like, when you're in a break and you run a bunch of just different logos, but that kind of interaction with the host and sort of that organic kind of advertising, for lack of a better term, is invaluable. There was I think maybe 500 people on site, if that, in the crowd. I don't know if there are that many. There may have been a little bit more. But at home, and at last I checked, day one had nearly 200,000 views. So tell me what's more valuable to the sponsors. And so if you're someone who is trying to put on a stream for your event and you have sponsors, this is a way to really make their investment worth their while. It's to give them that kind of love, that kind of interaction, that kind of support on the mainstream where you're talking to the owner or someone there showing off products. At the end of the day, and I learned this day one in broadcasting school, broadcasting and now streaming, for the most part, its main goal is to deliver advertisers to an audience. Always has been, always will be. Obviously, subscription services are the exception to that. Mm-hmm. But I thought Mayhem did a great job of doing that. And I also think then the second thing is, I think they proved you don't need a huge venue to pull off a cool event. You really don't.
No, definitely not. The transformation was fantastic. I love seeing the way they turned that affiliate into a competition floor and how they're right back at it the next day, back at normal classes. They did it for the original Mayhem Classic. They've done it for Legends Masters Championship. They did it here again, and like they really do have like it's a credit to the Mayhem family and how much buy-in they have from all of their people that can make that happen. And I mean, before we get to the competition,
Mhm.
like I said this to Lauren, I feel like the CrossFit and the higher ups owe Rich and the Mayhem crew so much because they have effectively like smoothed over a lot of wrinkles for them and kicking off two key components of the season in ways that are really like solid high points. Like the open
Mhm.
announcement that they started with and getting Rich back out on the floor, leaning into the nostalgia, getting Rory's beautiful face back on camera again, and that impeccable jawline, and then doing so with the semifinals and actually, going to an event where at Mayhem again inside their four walls, where they're willing to invest in a high quality live stream. So our first taste of in-person semifinals for individuals is something that is actually worthwhile to watch, right?
Yeah.
Like
Mhm. Agreed.
it's not iPhones running around. And I just feel like if you have like two, like I don't know, like two cards that basically like get you like the American Express black card or whatever it is. Like Mayhem should have two of those with CrossFit where they
Mhm.
can just run up the charges and buy everyone dinner a few times on that bad boy.
But I also think there's something about hosting an elite level competition inside an affiliate. And Rich keeps talking about this is there's such a disconnect from the community to the elite level, and doing something like that, live streaming, showing the regular fans that come out or people within driving distance is getting that pulse and heartbeat back. And if there was a way to have all of these in-person competitions at an affiliate that's big enough to host. I mean, you can even leverage somehow, CrossFit could somehow leverage the training camps. You have Invictus, plenty of space there. You have Proven. They hosted a open announcement last year. You know, it works there. HWPO, like there's all of these training facilities that could help bridge that gap between a live stream of the elite and the community. And I really liked
Mm,
seeing it with Mayhem.
I think the
mm,
other thing that they proved, and I've been beating this drum for a while, 20 people. 20 people is the like ideal size. Two heats, it was only 5 events over 2 days. So it
yeah.
wasn't, this was not a 12-hour commitment each day to watch all the action, to where when you have 40 people, your first 2 heats are irrelevant. No one, and I have a bunch of respect for the people who are in those heats, but in the whole picture of the competition and trying to tell a story of who's going to the games and who's not, it's irrelevant. It's nice for friends and
Yeah.
family to see, but
Yeah.
for your hardcore fan, they don't care. 20 people, 2 heats of 10, all those heats are interesting. Like
Yeah.
everyone's invested. And it was a 5-hour thing each day at the most. That is we don't need 9 events. You don't need to beat people up. They had 5 really
Yeah.
good events, and I know like I'll let the programming nerds have at whatever they want, but it's just that's their thing. I don't know enough, or I'm not as educated as like Bill and Chase are to break that down. I found it
Yeah.
entertaining. I thought the events were good.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take,
Agreed.
you don't have to overthink it. It was, you don't have to get too fancy. You don't have to be, oh, we got to have 7 events. We got to have 9 events. We got to do all this stuff. No, 5 events, small place, elite athletes, high quality production. That to me is the recipe. If we can find a way to make that a thing through a semifinals and get away from these big arenas that
Mm.
I look, and they are warranted in some cases. Like Rogue Invitational, you need a big space. Games, you need a
To-
big space. Torian, you
Torian Pro.
need a big
Yeah.
space too, right? But
Even
everything,
Europe.
yeah, Europe, yeah, but everything else, like you don't need it.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
was clean,
It's simple.
clear, and digestible, and I think that as much as we wanna give more athletes opportunities to compete against the best of the best and they have earned it, I don't think that that's best for the business model because then you have to pay broadcasts their overtime in these long days. You have to pay extra days for a venue if you're outsourcing. You have to pay more judges, more people have to insert rest. That Sean, as you mentioned, if you have just the 20 people, and now we have the option to do the in affiliate semifinals, that
Mhm.
can be the like second tiered goal to hopefully work to be in person at the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good that comes from it. I do think for me personally, the sweet spot is around 6 events, but I think even with this mayhem format, you could easily do a third day. Now, granted, it's disrupting some of the actual affiliate operation, which is a whole different thing. So I totally get like the 5 events, 2 days, keep it super tight, execute on what you can execute, and that's great. I like 6 events. I think 2 a day just feels, and maybe that's the nostalgia for the regionals days, but it seems like a decent amount. And if you're doing just that highly like condensed field, then like you said, you're not having people there 12 hours a day every single day, and it makes it more palatable to have 3 days in general. So even if you're like 2 days is it for us, or 3 days, I think what they did, you can replicate a variety of ways to kind of fit what ultimately works best for the programmers, for the athletes, for the people at the affiliate.
Yeah, and there are a lot of events out there, like the mid majors that I call them, that are kind of doing the same thing. Like Crash Crucible is one. There's some, I think Beach Brawl is another. I'm trying to think. NorCal
Fitness to the Coast.
Yeah, Fitness Coast, all that stuff. I think really the investment should, if you're going to invest a ton of money, invest it in the online streaming production. Your sponsors are going to get a lot more bang for the buck out of that than going to a bigger venue and trying to sell tickets and make it seem like, something that it's not. Keep it small, keep it exclusive. And I thought there was a lot to like there. So hopefully we can keep this momentum as we move throughout semifinals. I know we have a week off this weekend. The next weekend is Copa Sur. And then the end of May, like that last weekend of May, is when it's really big. Like there's 4, but I think up until then, with the exception of one other weekend, we have 1 per week.
Yeah, TFX is before the busy weekend too.
So anyway, a lot of good. Big thanks to the Mayhem crew for having me out, and to Rich. Like I had a total blast, and the whole atmosphere there is really cool. It's like a family vibe that you get when you
It is.
and the coffee shop is tremendous.
Oh, Buffalo Brew.
Buffalo Brew. Give me a coffee, and then I go back and I get me a protein shake.
Yeah.
So good.
Last time I was there, I don't know if they had a punch card system yet, or even if they do, but I was there so many times when I was there visiting Rory. I was like, I'm just it's just like, give me the usual. They're like, how do you have a usual already?
Yeah, right. And then one more thing, I got a sweet Mayhem hockey jersey they were selling there. So I've been trying to get ready to get back out on the ice, and now this is the dumbest excuse ever, but I was like, oh, now I want to get out with my new hockey jersey. So I bought like a 2X so I could fit it over my pads. So yeah, I'm set to go on my new. They were really neat. And then they would put your name on it, but I couldn't. I was like,